The Ofsted report was a shock, and I think, for me as a councillor, it was a shock. And I think it must have been really hard-hitting for all our really hard-working staff who work so hard under some quite, some quite adverse circumstances to do their best for Northampton citizens and Northampton's most vulnerable children, Northamptonshire's most vulnerable children. In terms of the actual body of the report, that there isn't an awful lot within that report. And I accept that this Cabinet spent an awful lot of time on children's services this afternoon, but I think it's useful to just put it in the context of the fact that even though Overview and Scrutiny had an opportunity to look at the report, it only had a matter of days, and actually it was a broader children's services issue that was actually on the agenda for that. A lot of focus was given in the Overview and Scrutiny report on the career pathway as a means of trying to address some of the issues related in the report. However, this still is uncosted, and given that critical to turning round our fortunes in this is our staff, we need to be thinking about other options, including maybe the return to national terms and pay terms and conditions. When social workers in neighbouring counties are offered a desk, a parking space, and considerably more than what we are offering, we need to consider how we do actually attract staff. Some of the environments that our staff work in are very, very challenging, and particularly the Ofsted report puts a lot of emphasis on the first response team. Some of these teams have between 60 and 80% agency staff working with them and no full-time staff. So again, we need to be thinking about things like returning to national terms and conditions. Now, I hear what you say, we don't have the money, but do we have the money not to do that? Again, going back to the brevity of the report, I'm minded to think about the Cabinet 2 years ago when the Cabinet was advised about the LGA peer review, and the Cabinet at that time was quite criticised for not giving a full consideration of that peer review, and that criticism came in the Max Caller report. So I'd like further detail about when there's a more substantial addressing of how we get back to an adequate service in relation to our Ofsted report.
Thank you. If you could finish there.
Just also said today, just to say, a few days before the Ofsted report was published, I went to a corporate parenting board meeting, and key things within the Ofsted report, such as the issues around unregulated placements being used, the issues around homelessness for care leavers, those kind of things, they don't get brought to that corporate parenting board. So with the absence of a dedicated children's scrutiny committee, we really need to think about how we best use our governance structures.
Okay, thank you.